The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100. Now, last night we had NVDA earnings and they destroyed. They carried the entire market. The fate of the world was on its hands, and it delivered. Now, when we look at today, we're going to look at what's happening with ES, S&P futures, and the Nasdaq, right? And how this is connecting over the next few weeks with what's happening in particular with the market. Now, there's a few really big plays here that are just printing back and forth. So there's equities you need to be paying attention to, but you also need to be paying attention to a few of the warning signs and what's happening over the next few weeks, specifically with what these Fed members are saying as well. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to it. Now, first things first, as we looked at last night, this is pretty wild, right? So end of the day, you put in this lower low, you get a little bit of a bounce, and then of course, after you start pushing back up. Today is probably one of the best days that you've had maybe in the last 7 months on Nasdaq. From lows, we have essentially moved up around 4% on NQ. On the day, the Nasdaq is up almost 3%, bouncing around 600 points total. Okay, pretty truly remarkable. You breaking the lower high structure as of right now as well, getting a very solid bounce in recovery. This is ultimately exactly what you would want in this scenario. If you're a bull, right, you're breaking back over, you're looking good. Now, for some of you saying, well, Tyler, could you potentially be making a double top here? It's potential, right? But what I will say, in order for that to be confirmed, you would have to break back below these swing lows of 17.35. And obviously we're not going to be able to go over that today. So those are big things going on there. Now we go out a little bit further and we look at ES, what's happening here. This is the 2-hour chart. You can see we've broken into all-time highs here. You made higher lows as well. And you also bounced out of our demand levels here as well. And you formed a new demand level. Also very bullish in my opinion, right? Very bullish things across the boards that are taking place here. Now, ideally, you would love to see some sort of breakout, retest, and continuation. I'm not going to say that's going to happen, but again, it's still there. The potential is there, but again, you look very, very strong at the moment, right? And this is everything that you have to be paying very close attention to. Now, really quick as well, we go into some of this data. We look at green to red days. Now, I mentioned yesterday, Thursday, high percent chance today was going to be really bullish based on the stats. This is Edgeful. Check them out. The link is down below. But Friday, although Friday's a 55% chance of being green, the one thing that I will say is if we look at the highest closes on the week, it's 38% of the time it happens on a Friday. So again, if we get continuation from a Thursday, it generally runs into Friday. So I'm not telling you to YOLO, go all in or do anything crazy, but the odds are pretty interesting right here. And it's looking like tomorrow is going to be a little bit of a good day as well, or at least pushing us back into these highs as well. So again, we're filming this video a little bit earlier, but definitely worth keeping track of. The data there is definitely not lying. So these are things that we have to be paying very close attention to right now. So ES, Nasdaq look incredibly bullish. You go into SPY, you can see here you broke clean right above the highs. You go to the 15-minute, you can also see you didn't even get a retest. You just gapped up. You were just cooking out of the gate, right? Just immediately. QQQ. We go in here. As you look what's happening here, you're pushing, you're trying to test right now. You got dangerously close to QQQ highs here, going into almost power hour, about 30 minutes until then. But again, what you want to see here is a break and retest of that level, right? So giving you an idea, just if you're charting Qs only, right? Break, retest, get that continuation out of this level. That's what you want to see, just like that. Boom. That's exactly what we're going to be looking for there in particular. And one of the biggest things that you need to keep on your watch list right now, and what I'll be watching specifically. Okay. So those are the two things right now when it goes to ES, NQ, etc. Okay. Now, when we go a little bit further, again, I don't have too much time, so I want to go over the data as well from DXY and what's happening here. Go to the 4-hour chart. Again, the dollar's just been slowly churning to the downside. We want to get it back below the 200 SMA to really side with our bullish thesis here, if that's what you're looking for. You have seen yields continue to slowly tick up. This has been a concern. Now, as well, you saw what happened from the Fed, and they're currently still pricing in a cut right now, where the Fed futures are for June, right? Not May, for June. So these are things to be watching. What you would like to see for the best bullish behavior is to see us get at least back in this range, but we want to get back below this. As long as we're above this, we're looking for a breakout back to the upside on yields. This level, just so you know, is your 2022 high. So we need this level, we need to get back underneath this level in the 30-year yield. It'll help the overall market, and it'll be the best thing possible for us. So again, keep an eye on this. Definitely be watching. This is one of the top things on my list right now that I am currently watching. So again, yields, very important. You got to be watching what's happening here as well. Now, yesterday we knew, we talked about it. We talked about it the day before that. We knew probably downside into NVIDIA earnings. But the biggest thing was, would we get continuation into today? And we did. And that's the biggest thing right now. You're seeing it affect in semiconductors, beginning of the week, we're really getting hit based on Pan W and other things that are happening there. And now you're seeing semiconductors rally back. And semiconductors, we have to remember, are one of the biggest things that have carried us and all this momentum over the past year. So I don't think it's a coincidence that we're moving up. And the most interesting part of today is that NQ is the only index not at all-time highs, right? Russell's not there either. But between the Dow and ES, those are performing, I guess, hypothetically at the best of their ranges right now, right? And they held up the best in the pullback. So when we look at that, we saw an overall tech, a little bit of a sell beginning of the week. We're seeing it, obviously, money flowing immediately back into these tech names. And there's a lot of them we're going to cover because a lot of them hit our key levels and mounted above. But we're seeing that momentum shift right back into it. And that's what you wanted to see if you were going to be bullish here. You wanted to see if money would come right back in and how aggressive it would be at these levels as well. So the fact that money is coming back in is a really good sign for bulls. Also, volume was really strong this morning. We want to see if volume is going to continue into tomorrow. Now, end-of-day volume, I don't think it's going to be absolutely incredible, but it's still going to be over our average 30 days. So that's important to know as well, which is around 75 million on SPY. So again, you want to see that's going to continue into tomorrow. If it does, really strong possibility this can continue into next week as well, or at least until some data comes out that can negatively affect us. But as of right now, NVIDIA earnings were very, very good. Fed members are really underplaying what happened with CPI and PPI. And things are just kind of still good for the market right now. Again, I'm just telling you and interpreting what the Fed is telling us and how the market is interpreting these earnings as well. Let's get back to equities. If you watched yesterday's video, I was really, I don't think I could have been more clear. All you wanted to see, you have to go to the 1 minute for NVIDIA. I'm sorry, but it's what you have to do. I said you want to see a break and a retest of that 746 level, and you can go long. You broke above it immediately open. You retested for 3 minutes, and then you shot up and you never came back down. You would have made almost $40 of upside there. So again, congratulations if you caught it. It's probably going to continue running here, most likely. You can see they're kind of forming a little bit of an ascending triangle here. It's a little bit ugly, it's not my favorite, but you can still see how that's forming out here, right? So we quickly draw it up here. You can also see what's happening here. You can see what's taking place. You want to break up. You want to get continued upside. What I'd be looking for is a break of highs, getting a break of highs, continuing back up. I think 800 is going to be like a magnet here as well. AMD, the same level we keep saying. I posted this on Twitter as well. The link is down below if you're interested. You just go over to Twitter. My link is down there. You can also see all the levels we've been charting, everything like that. Now, again, if you're also interested in where our supply and demand levels and things along those lines come from, our Lux Algo, the link is down below. You can check them out. You get a 20% discount when you use our link. So make sure you check it out. Anyways, you can see you broke above. Again, you have to go to a smaller time frame, but you mounted above this level, broke, retested, just continued running. Again, same levels we've been mentioning. There's nothing new to these charts. It's the same things on repeat, right? All the same key levels. You've been able to rinse and repeat this over and over and over, right? Very successful over the past few weeks. Amazon. Going into Amazon, very interesting. Now, what you wanted to see was a retest of 171. You did not get that, but you're still trying to push back to the top of this range towards 175, your previous highs that you had. That's a good look here. Now, I want to see if we're going to end up holding this previous high that we had here on the day, or the daily open from, today at 173.5. That's going to be a really big note there. If you can do that, I do believe you're in a continuation. And we have to remember Amazon's moved to the Dow. So you're definitely getting a lot of love with the Dow today as well, since it pushed back into all-time highs. And you're back down your little supply or little demand level here as well. So you want to see if we hold this or hold 173.5. Those are our levels. After that, you're pushing back into 175. Over 175, we're targeting around 177. That's what I'd be looking at in particular there. Now, Apple, very simple. Same level we mentioned yesterday. The 200 SMA, you opened up today, you rejected, you pushed down. You hit it again, you broke above it, you moved right into our next level we mentioned, 184.9, 185 give or take, you rejected so far. If you get above this level, you're looking for 187 with ease. Tesla, what do we mention here? You want to see a break and amount of 194. We had your first fake out this morning. I got stopped out on that one. You broke back up, got back in, you broke, retest, easy. Like I said, 194. It's all the same levels we keep mentioning. Break, retest, continuation. Well, where did we go to? Into 197, and the next level after that's 199. Also called that out in Discord as well. I just want to highlight too, sometimes we get slow with trading, but again, it's all because we're waiting for those big moves. Giving you a for instance, these are some of the gains that happened today, right? Absolutely murdering it, right? Just huge gains on some of these plays, right? What's happening? 40% gains. NVIDIA, 10,000, a little bit over 11,000 there as well. You have another big play here for 50% as well. Again, 30. Again, just crazy gains on the day because you're waiting for these opportunities and you're being patient. It's the biggest thing I can tell you guys is stop trying to like overtrade, stop trying to get too aggressive sometimes, and just let the trades come to you here, guys. And that's the biggest thing that can continue to say over and over and over is we get too aggressive and things kind of go bad and we freak out. Netflix, so you said to get over 576, you're bullish. Well, you never got the retest, but you started just grinding above the 90 on the 5 minute and you pushed right into our target of 590, again mentioned on Twitter as well. Right? So it's all on Twitter. We've had all this posted on there as well. Meta, you got over 469 and you got over 480. We said over 480, you're pushing to all-time highs. You're cooking, you're at all-time highs as well. Looking for a possible retest at 486. That's about as lucky as you're going to get on a retest there. Amazon, whatever that. AVGO, another big name here, right? You're pushing, you're at all-time highs. The best case scenario is you might get a retest of previous all-time highs, 1295. I can't tell you I know that's going to happen. Maybe a retest of 1305. Call this out in Discord today. The ascending triangle, you broke up. You're just keeping the run. I think you might get some volatility here as well. So keep this on like one of the top of your watch list as well. They look really good as well. Cloud names, I will say CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike was interesting. You dropped on that Pan W earnings. You got pretty violent to the downside. You're trying to fill that gap back into like 315. Be watching that there as well. I like what CrowdStrike is doing. I think they can easily push back into all-time highs. It's my favorite cloud name. Definitely one of the most bullish names. Last up I'm going to mention is going to be Target, one of my slower movers. I mentioned this in Discord this week, but Target over 150.3. I think you're running into 156. So as long as you hold above that, I think you're going to break out and continue to run. Be watching that name, ascending triangle here on higher time frames as well. Love it. If you guys have questions, comment down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be live as well at 10:30 a.m. Central. Have a good one, traders.